I see the little green thing going up and down. Does that mean it's good?
No, we're not recording yet.
Oh, hurry up.
So anyway, the wallet.
The wallet.
I don't think it's gonna. So where do you think it's going out of your back pocket? Are you gonna lose it? It's gonna fall out?
I don't know. It feels uncomfortable. Like
the only thing I'll say is that.
Well, I mentioned it hurt your posture and you put it in your back.
That's the thing. It does hurt your posture. I know this because, you know, when I was in school or whatever, undergrad, and I was coming back all the time, the wallet was really fat, and I'd be sitting on it for 3 hours in the car, and it was very uncomfortable. But the thing is, it's your pants now. You just sort of slide it up.
You don't have back pockets.
With this, I don't. Obviously, it goes in my front pocket, but normally I have back pockets.
All right.
You just slide it up. Slide it.
That's how mine is right now. Mine's like right here.
Yeah, you just slide it up towards your hip.
Mm.
And I know you got bones for an ass. You don't really have any like cushioning there.
He doesn't, yeah.
God knows I do. But you just slide it up a little bit. Just like that. It's that easy. Slide it. And then it's no problem. There's that episode of Seinfeld where George has a gigantic fucking wallet. Mm-hmm. And I think they talk about this.
I was thinking of this being like a Seinfeld topic.
It's a Seinfeld episode. He's got like all his receipts and everything in there. And the episode all like falls out. It's completely torn up.
I love how Seinfeld just has such a mundane topic and they spread it out over 30 minutes.
It's because Larry David and Jerry Seinfeld are supremely neurotic people.
Jews can be really funny when they try.
Yes, they are.
Even
I was just watching
when they don't want to.
Yeah, unintentionally. I don't think a wallet can last a whole lifetime, though.
It can, as long as you don't fuck with it.
If you put it in your back pocket every day, you're automatically fucking with it.
There you go.
Well, see, he puts it in his front pocket because we live in a bad place. You know, you walk outside, someone's gonna pickpocket you. If you go to a Walmart on Black Friday and where we live, I remember one time my dad, we went to Black Friday shopping at Walmart here where we live.
People like probably wear towels or something though.
Yeah, people.
But we were in line to check out, and there was a white family in front of us, and my dad started talking to him. He was like, "I know why they call it Black Friday."
Oh my God.
And the people in front of us he's like, yeah, because you can't see because there's so many people. And it's like, my dad's like, no. it's because all of the blacks. Instead of blacks, he said another word. And the family in front of us was like, oh. And they turned around. I was actually surprised that they got offended by that. I'm so used to all the white people around here just being, like, racist.
Yeah, not everyone.
Yeah, some of them are actually good people.
Come on!
Doesn't make you a good person.
That doesn't make you good or bad to hate a certain race.
I was implying that it doesn't make them good people that they weren't racist. That's kind of like the bare minimum.
They could have killed it.
I think you got to do something. Actually, you have to actually take an action to be good. You can't just not do things.
Yeah, if you just think like blacks are violent criminals, I mean, it's not bad.
We're talking about two different things here. I think that does make you bad.
Yeah. Thinking it instead of doing it.
Doing what? Killing them?
Telling them they're violent.
Telling them they're violent.
You gotta let them know.
I think if you think good things, it doesn't make you a good person. But if you think bad things, that does make you a bad person.
What is bad? What I just said?
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Word for word.
Get off your phone.
What are you playing?
Girls these days only know how. He's watching a live stream on his phone.
Hot
We're
shit
busy.
fly.
We're busy working.
You're
We're
supposed
working.
to be working right now.
We're in the studio. We're working.
I have a very juicy, sexy topic to discuss.
What's your topic?
I'm very excited.
You're going to be training 2 new accountants next week.
I am.
Why don't you tell us about write-ups?
Write-ups are basically...
No, do it. I'm going to take a nap. You talk about
I thought this was actually going to be exciting.
You thought it was? Well, we did have a trial last week that I sat in on, which was a sexual assault case, an aggravated sodomy case.
See, that's exciting.
It was a 15-year-old black boy and a 70-year-old fat old white.
What's wrong with this? If you're gonna rape somebody, why go for the worst one?
So, and you know the funny thing is, the defense wasn't even arguing that the event didn't happen because there was overwhelming DNA evidence that it did happen. So he was like, I did it, but I paid her for it. So not only did...
Still illegal?
It doesn't matter, that doesn't matter because they weren't charging him on that. But what, to me, it was even worse because like you paid this fat old white to suck your dick.
If you're gonna rape somebody, why do it to a 70-year-old white woman?
Fat old white woman.
Do it to like a... We gotta cut this. We can't talk about this.
Yep. If you know, my thing is like, you know, I'm not gonna say if you rape. If you're gonna, he said it was prostitution, sure.
How many 70-year-old?
I'm not paying no fat old white to suck my dick. I don't want. She was. man. She did not look good.
These black people, they got low standards.
He was 15. That was part of the defense of that. Only when he was 15.
Charged him as a
Sexually
child.
coming into himself, coming into his sexual being.
Yes, this naturally happens. to
Some
kids.
curiosities
Oh,
that
that's
you
the
might want to
defense?
pay for certain. That was part of it. The whole defense was good.
If you had to defend him, I couldn't think of anything. Like, yeah, he's a child. He doesn't know how to handle his hormones.
Well, I mean, you're trying to get the aggravated sodomy. You're trying to find not guilty on that. So yeah, like saying he paid for it. That is the
Yeah,
defense.
it's-
Yes. Now,
Did he write a check?
yeah, I'm sure this 15-year-old had a checkbook.
That's how they always get them. They write a check.
It was a cold case. It
It's
happened.
not solved yet. Is that what
It happened back in 2008.
Wow.
Oh, so he's an adult now.
Yeah, he's on
Did they try him as an adult or a child?
adult. And it happened back in 08. Now they didn't know who it was.
Damn, is the bitch dead? She's dead?
Back in 2017, they got a hit on the DNA. They reopened the case. She died. She's dead.
Well, I don't know how they can do anything then.
Uh,
So yeah, saying you paid her, I mean, yeah.
Basically, they had interviews with her, where they got that basically served as like her testimony, but it's not really her testimony. It was a rough deal because they didn't have her there to be a witness. They had her daughter come in. They had expert testimony, and they had some cops that were there on the scene, and that's what the state had. You know what the defense had? They had the dude. And normally you wouldn't put up your client for you wouldn't do
witness.
that because you don't want to subject them to cross-examination.
Yeah.
But he put him up there, and
Did he fuck up?
not at all.
He did a good job.
Here's the thing: to start off, you're trying to like get some sympathy, right? Starting to get his background information, so you're like, okay, what do you do now? He's like, I package stuff for Frito-Lay or whatever. He's a packaging manager, and he's like, you got children? He's like, yeah, I have 4 kids.
You married?
Nope. No, not married.
No.
Those kids are from different women. Not all of them.
Do you see them?
Didn't ask that.
Are they in your life?
Did not ask. Well, certainly one of them is not, because I think one of them was in Atlanta. So.
I can
So at that
guarantee
point, I
you
was
at
like-
least 3 of them.
At that point, I was like getting concerned because I was like, that's not going to look good in front of the jury. But whatever, like they get the point in. He's working. He's a productive member of society. He
He
has
grew up
children.
in a bad place.
He's got people he's got to take care of. His mother was a witness for the state as well. Not that she was like testifying against him or anything,
Uh-huh.
but she did not look. She gave a shit about him at all.
You can't. Can you force your parent to?
She was not testifying against him. She was just a witness. She was just there to affirm like that they
She
lived.
volunteered to do it.
No, she was subpoenaed.
Oh, I didn't know if you could force like someone to testify against your child.
I think it's just spouse.
I think it should be parent too, or child too. Parent, child, and spouse, and brother.
And she literally the only question she answered was just confirming that they lived in the neighborhood or whatever.
Oh, I see.
That's literally all she was there.
Where did this happen?
Uh,
Did it happen? where
actually,
we
not far from where I am. I think it's off on.
live? So it was in this town.
Yeah, of course. You know.
Don't say the name of the town.
I've already had to censor one thing. That you said earlier. I'll
Yeah.
get to this
I
too.
want to make your job a little easier, but hard at the same time.
Last week was very hard. I had to, especially the second half. I had to edit a lot.
Also, you might want. I don't know if you'd want to cut out.
I would, and I'll have to cut it out again because you just said it.
Congratulations.
You're gonna be watching and hearing this for a lot.
Yeah.
Yep, I know how to talk good.
Anyway, so the kid gets, he's not a kid, he's an adult now. So he's up there, he's talking now, and what helped him out was he was alleging this had happened before. That was part of their defense,
What do you mean before?
that he had paid for this before.
Oh, he's done it with the same woman.
Done it with the same one before. Now, there's problems with this. There's some evidentiary rules that preclude that kind of testimony. Now, there's a thing called a rape shield law, where if in a case where rape is being alleged, you cannot bring up the victim's prior sexual history. Basically, you can't slut shame them and say like, oh, she's fucked around. So it's like, now there is an exception, a procedural exception for when you reasonably believed or thought, or it was the case that prior sexual encounters with that person, with the defendant, were consensual. If you had a reasonably believe they were consensual, that they really were
They
consensual.
must bring this up a lot with like spouses that rape their wives or husbands.
That stuff probably doesn't go to trial. First of all, that stuff never gets reported.
If it does,
Yeah.
I mean, they'd bring that up.
So for them to get this to allow this kind of testimony, you're under the Georgia Rules of Evidence, which I looked up the statute. It's 24-4-412, OCGA. If you look it up now, under that exception, you have to file a motion 3 days prior to trial. They did not do this for some reason, the defense.
Oh.
They did not file it. But when he was up there examining his witness, his sole witness, the defense, he asked him anyway, was this the first time you had done this? And the state starts losing their shit. The DA gets up there, is like, what the fuck? You can't do this. We didn't get notice. We weren't supposed to do this. They talked about it before. They said, you can't say that. And he's like, no. The defense is like, listen, I apologize. I didn't mean had you paid her for sex before. I meant had you been to her house before. So I apologize that the question was Mr. He knew what the fuck he was saying. He knew what he was asking.
What did the judge say?
The judge was pissed off at him. The judge was like, listen, you know you're supposed to file the motion. You didn't do it. You didn't give him you didn't file the motion 3 days prior. You sure as hell sounds like you knew what you were asking. But listen, you know, he says that it's plausible deniability, and it's already out there. It doesn't matter anymore because he said it in front of the jury. It's already out there.
You can't just take it off like they do.
You can take it off the record, but the jury heard it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, legally they're not supposed to count that as something they heard.
Jury heard it, so like the state at that point, you have to make a strategic decision. When they go to cross, they just bring it up, and they have to. So that's out there now.
They can do a retrial, couldn't they? Have a different jury.
I don't think they were going to throw it out at that point. I think the state thought they had good enough evidence regardless.
Okay.
So they keep going through it, but now that's out there that like he's alleging that this has happened before, and one of the things that really helped him out was that on direct examination, his defense attorney, goes up there and asks them to describe the inside of the apartment. And I don't know if I knew where everything was.
Man, he's a genius.
Yeah, he's a real genius, and then apparently
He's a savant.
He's a savant, yes. But regardless, you know, everything goes through. There's overwhelming DNA evidence. They don't even try to dispute identity. They think that like this happened. There was a sexual encounter between the two. The daughter of the victim gets up there. She starts crying and shit. She's hooting and hollering, crying. She's fucking pointing at the black man.
Oh, of course.
That damn. Well,
She's like, that damn more.
that damn piece of. That damn monkey.
So she's up there. She's crying up a storm and whatnot. State makes a decent case, but jury goes back 30 minutes later. 30 minutes
Damn,
later.
that's real quick.
They come back and I'm like,
Guilty.
the judge actually called me up. He gave me a piece of paper. He said, all 4 counts, give me a guess. And I said, guilty, and I wrote an arrow going all the way down. And they come back, these motherfuckers said, not guilty, all 4 counts. Not guilty, all 4 counts. 30 minutes. 30 minutes they came back, not guilty, all 4 counts.
What did the jury look like?
Brother, the jury was damn near all white.
God damn!
There was like 3 black
It's
women.
good to be black where we
There
live.
was 1 black man, 3 black women. One of the black women looked like she didn't give a shit about the case, and she was the foreperson too. The whole time she was yawning, hooting, and hollering, didn't give a shit about it. She was just sitting there like she was disinterested.
That defense was good. They did a damn good job.
I can't name names because it'll give away where we live, but he's a prominent defense attorney out of. His father was a civil rights activist. He's a fucking good attorney. But he's like crippled too. This is the same motherfucker that I told you on the first day of trial.
Better.
On the first day of trial during expert testimony, he fell asleep. The judge,
He knows he was going to win.
The judge started asking the questions. He's just sitting there unconscious. We all thought he was dead because he's old.
Like Joe Biden.
He's old. He walks around with a cane.
Oh, I see.
And but he has a great speaking voice, and he has a presence in the room, and he argued a great.
That jury
voice.
just believed him.
Well, part of what might have happened is she's dead.
Yeah.
She's dead. It's been 15 years. The guy's got, girlfriend now. He's got kids. He's got a job. If you don't, there was not.
What's that noise?
It's a laptop.
My computer. I'm processing the video.
Yeah. If you don't feel like there's sufficient evidence of non-consent, which there just was not. There was no good evidence of non-consent. Part of what they were trying to get was that he had a knife. There was no evidence of a knife ever being there. And in fact, her interview 10 years later contradicted that when she said in an interview with one of the officers that he had a nightstick. And I don't think she mentioned a knife in the second interview.
He had a weapon.
Obviously, now she's old. Now, the state's trying to say, hey, any contradictions in testimony or whatever, please take into account that she was an old lady. You say, motherfucker, you have the burden of proof. I'm not going to take into account that she's an old lady. She might not remember stuff. You're trying to throw a guy in prison. You better have good damn evidence. And if there's no evidence of a knife, because there were no marks on her neck, and she was alleging that he held the knife to her throat. So there was no marks. There was no evidence of a knife being there. And apparently, some pictures that I didn't really get to see sitting out in the gallery, the apartment at the actual scene when they came in, nothing was was out of place. Nothing was like torn up or anything. Didn't really look like anyone had like ruffled with shit. It looked pretty organized. And apparently the little couch area and the way it was set up, I think the jury might have thought she was a prostitute. that she was giving out for the people in the neighborhood. Now all you gotta do as a defense is just get enough doubt into one of those jurors.
Yep. One juror's all.
But apparently a few of them had plenty of doubts.
Apparently unanimously, they all had doubts.
I don't know if it was unanimous. But quite a few of them. Apparently, my boss was talking to them in the parking lot after. Apparently, quite a few of them had serious doubts, and they were right to, because if I were a juror after that case, I was thinking maybe I'm just biased towards the defense, but I felt like there was not good enough evidence. There was not sufficient evidence of that. And the thing is, he even admitted on the fucking stand. He admits to theft. But they weren't charging him with theft. They were charging him with armed robbery, armed burglary. So they couldn't get him on that. They got him on nothing. he just walked out free. It is what it is. But the state, I think, the DA hid his being upset pretty well. He didn't look too upset after, but I'm pretty sure he was seething. Lost that case, got clapped. That was a good case to sit on for my first one, to see the DA get his ass kicked. Yeah. That was nice. I like that DA. That DA.
You like seeing your boss be humbled?
DA, my boss.
Oh.
I work in the public defender's office.
What were you doing watching it?
He said it would be good for me to watch it.
Oh.
So that's why he just had me in on it. And it was a good experience watching the whole thing. I watched it from jury selection to jury deliberation, a verdict, which is good. And the fact that they came back not guilty was nice, because we didn't have to sit there for extra time with sentencing. I was expecting, hey, they came back in 30 minutes. I was like, all right, let's get ready for sentencing now.
What would have been like a sentence for him?
I don't know. Look up.
Couple years.
Go to Westlaw and look up what aggravated sodomy will get you.
Like a couple years, probably.
A couple of years of aggravated. I feel like aggravated sodomy probably gets you more than a couple of years.
I feel like they would go down to a couple of years.
Probably. It was aggravated sodomy, armed robbery or burglary or something, and then 2 other charges or something. I don't know. But that was my first case.
Wow, it's quite my first case.
It's quite exciting for a first case.
It was great. There was a lot of arguing back and forth. They had to send the jury out like dozens of times because of the evidentiary problems that the state and Mr. were arguing. Mr. would be hobbling around. I have to cut the name out. My bad. The defense attorney would hobble around on his cane. I still can't believe he got that shit out. Again, because he knew that he was not allowed to ask about that thing, and he just asked about it anyway, and it fucking worked.
He knew, he did it on purpose.
That's what, my boss took me up to the judge's chambers after, too, to talk about the case with the judge. And he was still complaining about not having the motion and whatnot, and I was like, he got it out there anyway. He was like, yeah, he did. He did. That's good, Lauren. You gotta bend the rules a little bit. Although he should have just filed the motion. God. The only thing that I thought was kind of stupid about it is that the point of filing that motion 3 days prior is to give notice to the opposing counsel.
Right.
Right? You don't want to surprise them, like, hey, we're going to bring up prior sexual history. That's a lot to try to counter. So you want to give them adequate notice as to, like, that's something we're going to bring up to trial.
Right, which makes sense.
Based on what you saw, what do you think happened?
What do I think happened?
Yeah.
Okay, asking what I would have.
No, I'm not asking. I'm not asking if you were a juror.
Because that's different than.
I'm asking what you personally believe happened. You think he's guilty as hell? I think he's guilty as hell, and I don't know nothing about it.
What do I think? I think he should be imprisoned just because he got a blowjob from a 70-year-old fat old white.
That's the biggest crime.
That's the biggest crime. Because I saw this. There was some video evidence. There was some video evidence of the second interview in 2017. She's a big old woman.
God damn.
She was
what is wrong with this?
This man should go to prison just for that. Do I think he was actually guilty of an aggravated sodomy? What do I think actually happened?
Yes.
I think he was paying this old to get his dick sucked. With nothing being like
if he paid,
the biggest thing that for me, the reason I think that is because she could not identify the perpetrator at first. She said his face was covered. Years later, she said he was wearing a ball cap. Okay. But the fact that he could describe the inside of the apartment and that he lived in the neighborhood makes me it convinces me that she knew who he was.
Right.
She would have been able to identify him if he was just wearing a ball cap. She would have been able to identify him.
Do you think what happened is he paid her to have something done to him and then he went too far?
Do you want to know his testimony?
What'd he say?
So he said, anyway, so I go in, what happened next? Well, we go to the couch, what happened next? She unzipped my pants and started playing with it.
Gosh.
He was like licking his lips too, like he was really.
Oh, he was getting horny up there.
I was like, motherfucker, dude, that is God. This dude is demented.
It's fucked up. This is fucked up.
So she put it in her mouth.
God damn, I'd have to walk out and listen to this shit. It'd be funny if I had a picture of the woman up there. God, this shit's gross, man. I wish you had a photo of her so we could see what she looked like.
I mean, it's open. At this point, the case is closed. I mean, it's open proceedings anyway. I don't, maybe they'll have
So we could look it up and
They might have some stuff up at some point.
Well, if you know her name, we could probably look her up. She'd have a Facebook or something.
I'll try to avoid names from now so people can identify what district we're in or the circuit we're in.
You could just tell us, not... You know.
Oh, okay, if you guys want to look it up later.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah, I know all the names involved. Actually, the guy is still marked down for the next calendar call. He will not be there, obviously.
Has he done anything else?
No, I don't think so.
He has no prior crime.
Seems like a law-abiding citizen from now on. Yeah.
Law-abiding.
I know.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Should still be in prison for that, but regardless, yeah, so he says, so she puts it in her mouth. Okay. and apparently he's saying that she was complaining the whole time, like, don't come. Don't come in my mouth, don't come in my mouth, don't come in my mouth. And so he says, so anyway, nut in her mouth.
My God.
That just made him horny.
And he's like, I don't think she liked that, so she got pissed off or whatever. Because part of what the state was trying to preempt, because she spit the semen out onto the floor. That's where they got the DNA sample.
Really? Okay. I thought
So
she had
part
it
of
inside of her.
the state trying to establish their case or whatever, the apartment was very clean. It was well put together.
This is believable.
Why would she just spit out semen like that into her, like her nice clean apartment unless she was being like sexually assaulted?
Oh.
That was part of what they were trying to get out, and the jury didn't buy it. But anyway, yeah, she spit it out there. See, what you saying this is you buy it from his side that she spit it out because she didn't want to get.
That testimony sounds like he's probably telling someone the truth.
I think look. If you're asking me legitimately what I think happened,
If he had seen her in the past, that might have happened before.
yeah, probably very likely that it could have
Sounds
happened.
pretty realistic, honestly.
No, listen, he doesn't have to convince anyone that that's exactly what happened. They just have to convince him that the other thing probably didn't happen, or maybe didn't happen. That there's a significant possibility that that's not what happened. That it wasn't a sexual assault. That it was not an aggravated sodomy. You don't have to build up your own case as a defense. You just got to convince them that the other case is not. There's not sufficient evidence for it. But the testimony went well for him, about as well as it could possibly go for putting your own client up for examination, despite him describing in detail the act, which was not entertaining. I looked at this man like he was an alien. Something seriously wrong with that man.
He's criminally horny.
It's disgusting.
Have you ever been so horny you just fuck a 7-year-old white fat?
No.
Yeah.
Never. Jesus Christ.
You're just so down bad.
Oh my
Even paying her.
Fucking paid her 40
There are
cents.
plenty of prostitutes out there who are way better looking. Pay them.
I don't even give a shit if they're bad looking. I just want an old fat white. They can look bad as long as they're like 30.
That's the part where you draw the line.
She was old and fat.
When I say ugly, fat and old can kind of go into that.
We're fat shaming a lot right here.
So? Is there something wrong with that?
It's my first case.
Given that 2 of us are overweight?
What are you talking about? 2 of us are overweight.
He's not
Yeah, they don't have to know that.
I'm not overweight.
He's not overweight at all.
How much you weigh?
183.
That's overweight.
How is that overweight? I'm 6'2".
They have very low standards.
What are you talking about? I'm 6'1". I'm not 6'2".
Or you're talking about the freaking like online calculators that tells you like you're obese or
Yeah,
something.
if they looked at your BMI, they'd probably say you're overweight.
Who are you talking? Who is they?
Doctors.
No doctor thinks I'm overweight.
When's the last time you've been to the doctor?
Like a year ago.
What they did check your like body weight, your
It was something else. But anyway, you're hardly overweight anyway, and God knows that fucking scrawny piece of shit over there is not overweight.
I saw said 2 out of 3 of us.
He's underweight.
He's anorexic.
You need some meat on your bones, brother.
He weighs like less than 110 pounds.
By the way, this 15-year-old, when he was 15, was probably about shorter than Thomas, but probably about his weight. He's a little man. He's starting to bust down the damn door. Yeah, real scary. This little kid's gonna bust down the door.
Bust down the door.
That's what they were alleging, that she was...
Oh, that he threatened
He was saying
her?
he was gonna, like, oh, if you don't open the door, I'll bust down the window and come in anyway. It's like, yeah,
Is
sure.
there any proof to that statement?
All they had was testimony. Or I guess in her case it wasn't testimony.
Her say.
It was a lot of he said, she said, yeah. Especially in a case like this, you're gonna get that. It's gonna be a lot of he said, she said.
Yeah.
The only stuff that wasn't he said, she said was the DNA evidence, and they weren't disputing that. They weren't disputing that the actual act happened and that it
He
wasn't.
could have just come on the floor.
That's true too. But...
Like if she said don't come in him, maybe he just came on the floor. He should have just said that. That's the reason Steven's on the floor. She said don't come in me, and he...
She spit it out, and I think...
Was there her DNA
Her
in it
DNA
also?
was mixed
Yeah,
with it. That's
okay.
what it was.
Okay.
Her DNA was mixed with it. Not granted, her DNA might mix with it anyway, but
Could you determine whether it's like saliva or something
Yes.
else? Could be some other bodily fluid.
at least when they were collecting it, you can tell the difference. Which one of the?
I'm imagining what she looks
The
like.
the one cop who was under examination for like 6 hours.
What would he know?
It was his case. He was the one that responded to it, and he
Oh,
was
she
he was the
called
investigator
911.
on it. So when he showed up, he collected the samples and everything. So you have to, part of that whole examination process, you have to bring in the evidence, unpack it, be like, is this what you packaged? It hasn't looked like it's been tampered with. You have to confirm all these things.
Yeah.
Very detail-oriented
Is
process.
this whole episode going to be about this?
Are we at the 30-minute mark? We gotta take a break.
We're almost at 30 minutes mark.
Well, yeah, because at some point we gotta take a break. It's very important. No, well, if you don't want me to, look, I think it's a fun case.
I think it's fine, but like an hour, I don't want the whole episode to be about this.
I apologize, brother. You don't want to hear about this 15-year-old kid getting his dick sucked by this old fat white.
Depressing. Oh, it's Overlord! I'm sorry.
Look, man, he's more of a nerd than I am, honestly, in terms
You
of...
are.
Hey, out of all this, the only thing I recognized was Overlord. I don't know what the hell any of that else is. It's all bullshit.
He's just a mega weeb now.
I mean, it's all from my Apple Music. It's just showing all the albums for it.
At this point, honestly, I wouldn't call you a weeb anymore. He is the weeb of the group at this point. You're...
Well, the things I watch ain't this. I watch ReZero. That's the only thing on this all of this.
So Thomas...
One Piece ain't bad.
So Thomas doesn't watch action anime, and that makes him more of a weeb than you?
I think so.
If you watch action stuff, you're
Like
not...
if you watch Love Live, you're pretty big into it. You're deep in that hole.
He reads more at this point.
That's.
That does make you more weebish, actually.
Yeah.
The fact that you can
I
read
mean,
the
I read
language.
Berserk, but that's. I mean, Berserk's very.
He's reading
action,
actual
bloody.
language. But
Yeah, he's reading actual
is
language.
weeb referring to... And this isn't important.
Weeb means someone who denies their own culture in favor of Japanese culture.
Well, then he is a prototypical weeb.
They praise Japanese culture.
Is that what it means?
Oh, we gotta get a Google definition on this. Hold up.
There's an otaku also. I don't really know what that is.
Well, I know what a taco is, but I didn't know we've though.
Pretty sure weeb's
So
just
we're gonna
someone
go
who
look-
loves Japanese
Are
culture.
we doing Urban Dictionary?
Yeah, I don't think weeb's a real word.
It could be.
Weeaboo is the full word.
Yeah, it's just... No, I mean... Okay.
Oh.
You got it a bit mixed up. So a weeb is just someone who is interested in anime and Japanese culture. A weeaboo is the one who rejects their own culture in favor of Japanese culture.
I thought that was just the same thing.
Oh.
Weeb was just
Now,
short.
I will say, I don't think Thomas has denounced his own culture in favor of Japanese culture. I think you're straddling a line here.
Yes.
But if I had to rule one way or the other, I would call you a weeb more than a weeaboo. But it's a borderline decision.
I think Japan sucks.
I think it sucks too. But also, I'm not the one being accused of being a weeb.
And they can put out some good shows, but hell, I like more Western stuff than I do Eastern stuff.
Alright, let's take the break. Okay.
We were talking about gay porn.
So I'm pulling up the cuckold wife porn.
You're actually gonna do it?
Yeah, we're talking about a dude railing another dude in the ass while the wife watches like TV. We thought that was pretty funny because we see the other way around. Let's see what the gay version of it is. Pull it up, Jamie. Pull that shit up, Jamie.
No, this is not what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to find like a wife watching. Oh no, she is watching,
Gay cuckold?
but she's watching him fucking.
Let me see.
She's watching him fuck another woman.
Oh, I don't care about that. I want to see him fuck a dude.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to.
I want to see gay shit.
Gosh.
Because I'll just get horny if I watch straight shit.
It's my wallet.
Hey, you were complaining about it earlier. I
My
want to see
wallet, man.
it. Want to see what you're complaining about?
Oh man, they don't got it.
Oh, come on. There's got to be at least one
not-
amateur video out there. You got to go on like the gay websites.
I'm not looking at this right now. I'm actually researching something else.
God God damn it! I was getting my hopes up. I was ready to watch some cuckold.
Well, you remember the alcohol enemas?
What is that?
You brought that
We were
up.
talking about like
Last
when people
episode.
they ingest alcohol through their anus.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, but like if you
It's-
go to their Wikipedia or whatever, and it's like talking, alcohol enemas, colloquially known as butt chugging.
It brought it up as like an Aztec ritual. or
Yeah, that's the
Mayan
thing. So like if
ritual.
you go to the Wikipedia, it says like administration, you can check that out. Effects and dangers, check that out. And then Native American ritual usages. It's not. the
Was
Maya
it pleasurable to them?
apparently gets you drunk quicker.
Oh, yeah, I guess.
The Maya ritually administered enemas of alcohol as an entheogen.
How do we know that?
Testimony.
we burned and killed all of them. How do we know this shit? We're just making it up to rip on them.
Sometimes adding other psychoactive substances, seeking to reach a state of ecstasy. Syringes of Gordon clay. They probably found
They
these.
don't have syringes. This
No.
is fucking
Syringes of Gordon
the
clay
800s.
were used to inject the fluid. They injected it up their ass, just like that.
Thomas, you want to try this out one day?
No.
We got plenty of Hennessy in the house.
I'm good.
I can't believe you made me get off of the case for this.
I think this is more funny.
The case was very interesting. Hold on, I'm getting a text message. You two confer about the enemas, come to a conclusion.
I wanted to talk about cuckold porn.
That's the thing.
Why do you want to?
You can't find.
I'm
it.
really on this. I'm gonna have to look it up when I get home. This
Porno-
gay cuckold porn.
You know, pornography is generally geared towards straight men, so it's going to be hard to find
What?
stuff like what you're looking for.
I'm just so depraved. I gotta petition people
To
to
be
make
clear,
this.
you're looking for a wife who is the cuckold,
Yes.
watching her husband have sex with another man.
Not necessarily watching. You know, there's like Brazzers videos and other kind of.
Don't use his laptop to search that up.
No, I was moving it. Brazzers videos and shit where they'll have like the husbands like sitting, like the husband and wife are sitting on the couch and their stepson or some kid will come in and he'll sit down on the couch next to the wife and the wife starts jerking him off and stuff and then they're like, oh, help me do dishes, honey, and then they go behind the couch and start fucking and the dude's just like, they're just screaming and hollering having sex and the dude's watching TV eating popcorn.
So you want that, but with the wife.
Yeah, I want that, but the wife and the gay guy's getting railed.
Okay, so it's like a plumber comes over.
Whatever. I don't care what situation it's in. I just want it to be funny.
It would be funny, or you actually, like, you can admit that you find this arousing.
I just admitted I didn't. That's why I'm willing to watch it.
Oh, so if something is arousing, you won't watch it.
No.
You have a problem.
Like if you brought on, like if you put on Euphoria where underage girls are having sex, I'd get turned on. They're not actually underage though, so I mean the Jews that made those episodes, they're the ones that are at fault, not me.
Yeah, it was the Jews that made it. What an odd. Hello, sir. What an odd.
Look up Euphoria and see who created it, and then go to his like early life and history.
Have I ever shown you my mom's text messages?
I think you have a little bit.
I think it's funny that someone who suffered from a stroke would type like they suffered from a stroke. It's kind of funny to me.
It's funny to her too. Every time I try to read her text messages to her, she can't breathe for like 2 minutes because she's laughing. So
And that
hard.
just sounds like a comedy skit.
She finds it funny. What was I looking up? Euphoria creators or whatever.
Yeah, who created?
Well, you know, if you look up Fresh Prince, if you the creators of the show, even though they aren't really the creators, they took it to air, I guess, but they're not really the ones who created the show. It's a Jewish husband and wife. They created Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
The Blacks.
A black show.
A black person show created by Jews.
Euphoria creators.
Who's in charge of BET? Who owns BET?
But you remember the Onion joke, right?
What was it?
Sale of BET to a white supremacist organization results in no changes to programming.
Gosh.
Yeah, that sounds right.
No. The Sam Levinson is the creator of Euphoria. May also be a Jewish surname. He may be Jewish.
Only Jews come up with this sort of shit.
It's borderline.
Like regular, like Christian European ethnicity people, you know, they make shit like Mad Max and Star Wars, and then you get this shit. The Jews just make like Sex in the City and Euphoria.
To be clear, I am not endorsing any of these positions. As a man in the legal profession,
I'm just making it.
I have nothing but respect for church culture.
Family Guy makes Jew jokes, and it's funny, haha. It's the same with me. I don't like Family Guy.
By far, the best jokes about Jewish people that you will ever get come from other Jewish people.
Yeah.
So Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
Larry David, the Jewiest of Jews.
Yes.
The best Jewish jokes you'll ever get are going to come from Larry David. And Seinfeld has great Jewish jokes and stuff. Because they're in it. They know how to like satirize it from the inside.
They know it more than anybody
So
else.
they're on the inside. They get it. I mean, Larry David, it's hilarious. That stuff's great. That stuff's usually it will work like that. Like the best satire of any community you're gonna get is gonna come from the inside. Like the Boondocks, the way they make fun of the black community and stuff. That's it's funny as anything you're gonna get from some random racist or whatever. It's not gonna work the same. They just get it better. And honestly, a lot of the jokes you make in the Boondocks, a racist person would make those jokes.
Yeah, I think they're hilarious.
I mean, what was the Ruckus one? Pull up the Ruckus one. Where he's talking about the things that strike fear into the heart of a black man. It's like a nightstick, a noose, a job application.
Right.
It's like, you can't, that's not a joke anyone else could make. But part of what makes it funny is knowing who it's coming from.
Right.
Like, it's not as funny if like a racist person's saying, because they mean it in a certain way. When like a black person's making that joke, they mean it, but it's just in a different way.
Mm.
They might even mean the same thing. Like what you think? Look at him. He's all pensive now.
He's thinking about.
I'm just contemplating this world we live in.
It's a tough world out there.
Mm.
It's a beautiful world. This creation that God made is beautiful. Only God creates something so beautiful.
Bring back bulbs and your basket. Makes sense.
Bulbs, like.
Otherwise,
like,
we are together.
What are you talking? What the fuck was that?
My mom. I told her that and she lost her damn mind. She was
What?
She was trying to tell me to bring back light bulbs. Let me see.
Uh-oh.
So I was like, bring back bulbs and your basket. Otherwise, we are together.
What?
But she was trying to say, otherwise, if you don't bring it, otherwise we can go together. So you can come get me and we'll go together and get the stuff.
Did she tell you that in person?
Well, when I told her the text messages after 2 minutes when she was able to calm down, yeah, that's what she told me. She's like, that's what she was trying to say.
I wouldn't be able to decipher that.
I wasn't able to either.
It's an alien language out there.
Well, like, I can understand bringing back the bulbs.
That was pretty good. Bring back bulbs and your
Yeah.
basket. Basket I knew because she talked about getting a laundry basket for myself because I don't have one here.
Okay, yeah, if you were in context, you would
Yeah, so
understand.
I knew about that. And this is another one, like you come home, park in the garage. I know what she means. She
When I
means
heard
park
you say
in front.
bulbs, I immediately thought of flowers. Like flower
Like light bulbs. She knew she'd one of those light bulbs.
My parents are buy flowers, so. Oh, who's that? Come up. Who's that? Your sister?
That, can I, yeah, it's that dumb bitch.
You can say that. Everybody makes fun of their siblings.
Bad person. Very bad. She had not taken the dog outside.
You shouldn't expect her to. If that dog dies, I mean, he's not gonna die, but if he does, you have perfect scapegoat.
Yeah, I should have recorded that phone conversation actually. What are the two-way states and the one-way states when it comes to recording a conversation? In some states, as long as...
Yeah, in some states, only one person needs to agree to it.
Yeah, which just means you can record any conversation, basically, because if you're recording it, you agree to it.
Yeah.
And a two-way state, you have to have both consent.
Yeah, Better Call Saul, they said that, didn't they?
I only know about it because of Antonio Brown, that psychotic football player. He recorded his conversation with John Gruden when he was trying to get kicked off the Raiders because he didn't want to be there, I guess. So he was acting up, acting a fool, doing all sorts of crazy shit. And then he had a phone conversation with John Gruden, where John Gruden is being very nice to him. After all the shit that Antonio Brown had put them through, he was like, listen, man, I'd love to have you here, but I understand if you want to go and whatnot. And then he's like, all right, we're gonna release you. And Antonio Brown hangs up and he starts hooting and hollering and having fun. His career was never the same after that. He had an $80 million contract with the Raiders, threw it away, and I think he maybe made $5 million after that from other teams, and now he's not in the league anymore.
I mean, you can retire off $5
Why would he do that?
He legitimately has some. He's unwell. He's unwell.
He is unwell.
He is unwell.
That's a very polite way of saying it.
There's something wrong with him. This is the guy that Tom Brady brought to Tampa. They did win the Super Bowl. He played well in the Super Bowl, but the next season he came back, and halfway through one of the games, he got pissed at the coaches, tore off all his jersey, his pads, everything, started throwing it into the crowd, was like running around half naked doing like jumping jacks and then left.
Wow.
Yeah. This is the same guy who also, he farted in the face of that doctor.
Yeah.
Oh god.
The doctor was so upset. He's like, I'm a professional. This man is farting in my face.
He gave the doctor pink eye.
And then he also was going on a campaign. It was No White Women 2020.
That's funny.
I don't know if he succeeded.
No white. What does that even mean?
No white women.
No white women.
No white women.
God, that's a good. I'd get behind that.
The guy from The Case did not get behind that, evidently. All right. Anyway, I'm gonna take a sabbatical. Y'all handle this for a minute, all right?
Can you explain what that is to someone who doesn't know what that is? Because maybe one of our audience members doesn't know what that is.
All right. Let's pull up the Urban Dictionary.
Sabbatical. I assume that's something to stick up your ass.
A period of paid leave granted to a university teacher or other worker for study or travel, traditionally 1 year for every 7 years' work. That is a very archaic definition. Sabbatical just means a break, basically, now. Okay, so I'll have to deal with something. Y'all handle it. Thomas, you haven't talked at all. What's going on with you?
All right, let's talk about hypotheticals. I had a good topic because last night I asked my mother,
All right.
a lovely, sweet lady who's retired now. She's retired. Mm-hmm. So I could probably bring this up without any harm coming to her, even though I'm not mentioning her name.
Alright.
I asked my mother last night. We went out to eat and I came home and we were talking about something on the way home. And I asked her, Mother, do you believe in anything that you know is truly wrong, but you still believe it? She said, sometimes when I watch House Hunters and there's a black family, I turn it off.
Oh my god.
So I wanted to ask you two, what are something you believe is truly wrong, but you still believe it?
Something Something that I believe is something that I know is wrong, but I still like.
Not necessarily like something. I don't mean like.
I know what
like 2 + 2 = 5.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
I know what you mean. Something that may be morally reprehensible, but I still.
Yeah.
Okay. It's probably gonna be something related to women. just. I'll think about it. Thomas, I'm sure you got plenty of things.
You're on break. You're supposed to shut up.
That's true. I need my sabbatical. I'm looking at Bin Laden memes.
All right, Thomas. What's something? What's something that could send you to jail if you said it on this podcast?
I see.
I didn't even read it yet. I was just laughing. What is this?
I don't know. Oh, shit.
They're not gonna know what the hell we're talking about.
I can't. I'm not. They're not gonna know what we're talking about. That's fine. All right, Thomas. What's the one thing you believe that's bad? Do you believe anything that's bad?
He does. He's not gonna say it though.
I can't really think of anything.
You do. You're gonna believe like.
I mean, maybe like
you're
Going
uncomfortable.
to church is tiresome.
You're uncomfortable around black people. That's perfectly fine.
The only ones he can think of are racist. The expanse.
Because I know
is
that's
wide.
wrong.
The expanse is wide. You can pull from any like I said, like maybe you find going to church to be annoying or something, and you're like, that's wrong. I shouldn't feel that, but you feel that. Something like that.
Yeah, maybe you're annoyed you have to go to church on Saturdays or Sundays or Wednesdays.
Or maybe some of the people at the church, particularly.
Maybe you don't like your pastor or your priest or your people that you go to church with.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you're annoyed by your siblings. Maybe your siblings are just...
My sister's a dumbass bitch, piece of shit, disgusting whore.
That's not your answer. I'm not gonna let that be your answer.
I wouldn't feel like that's wrong.
Because so many people believe that.
My sister's fine. She's annoying, but she's not a bitch.
All right, Thomas, it's got to be juicy now. This is live, and we got to get an audience. We got to get that fan.
I want one person to dislike our podcast, all right? That way I know they at least acknowledge our existence.
Then we know it's not just us liking it ourselves.
So we need some juice, brother.
If they dislike it, that means we've made a difference.
I literally can't. I think that's wrong.
I can't think of anything either, honestly.
I'm trying.
I mean, are you just scared to say it?
It's probably something misogynistic, probably.
I just can't think of anything.
That's worse than saying something racist.
Is it?
I don't know. I feel like you get more in trouble that way.
Yeah, it's not really misogynistic. I don't. Things should be equal, right? But like, I don't think they should be equal.
Oh, okay. You mean like women should stay at home?
No.
Be parents?
No, I think first of all, they fucked up.
They did.
They had it
made.
made.
Then the 70s come around, the sexual revolution and everything. They want a job.
Yeah, that's fine. Sexual revolution is fine. Why do you want a job? That's just miserable.
It is miserable.
That's a bad gig. I was thinking more just like, everyone's like, okay, it's equal, so yeah, like we should equally split. I don't think things should be equally split in relationships. I think people should have their own responsibilities. You don't just equally split everything. That's kind of stupid.
What do you mean, like a woman shouldn't?
I think how you assign those responsibilities is completely up to you too.
You think a woman shouldn't be like working in an oil mining company?
No, I think like, if that's how that's a job choice. That's
I don't really know what you mean.
A job choice.
You got to be more discreet. I don't really understand.
Men should be paying on the dates.
Oh, so like more traditional. Like,
yeah,
dating.
Men should be paying on the dates. All right.
Okay.
Women should not even like a first date thing.
A man should drive. He should make the choice of where to eat.
Driving, I don't really give a shit about.
He should do the tip and the paying.
The men should pay for all the dates. Now, I that's why I don't date, because I can't afford it.
Yeah, that's why.
That's yeah.
That's what's holding you back.
Yeah, that's the 99th reason.
All right, Thomas, your turn.
I can't really think of anything else off the top of my head.
I pretty much already said mine.
That you're uncomfortable around gay people?
Yeah. I said black people, but gays are also that way.
Oh.
I'm uncomfortable around ghetto black people. If they're a nice, well-dressed, like that lawyer you mentioned, I probably love that dude.
Sure.
I'm sure I would actually, the way you talked about him.
He's an old man. He was mostly in a wheelchair. He would like hobble around a little bit.
Yeah, he's not gonna hurt me. So he's not gonna rob me.
How about the little guy that was the actual defendant?
Well, that rapist.
He's like half your size.
I don't care. All it takes is a gun.
He's not. I'm not scared of him because he's a rapist. I'm scared of him because he was willing to do that with that woman.
I mean, what would he be willing to do with you?
He got low standards, man.
I mean, if you're fucking a 7-year-old fat white, you probably fuck a dude.
Do just about anything. I know.
Thomas, I'm getting fed up. You gotta come up with something, man. You do believe in something.
You're actually like legitimately. You're kind of a shitty person, and you have bad beliefs, but you won't admit it.
Yeah.
Like you have bad. Like, you're not a good person. Just to be clear.
Everybody has something in their head they believe that they know is.
His stuff is demented. And he can't admit it.
he's just a sick fucker. He believes in like chopping up women's body parts.
He made Jared Fogle look like a saint.
Yeah. I don't know what Jerry Fogle did, but yeah.
The Subway guy.
Oh, I was thinking of a movie actor.
Yeah. Do you want my credit card?
Oh, that's a nice credit card. It's silver.
You want to
says silver on it.
Go ahead and read the numbers off for the. Hey! Those aren't the numbers, but I'll edit it out anyway.
Saying that anyway.
I will edit it out anyway. Doesn't matter.
You got a AAA card?
He's been sitting there for 40 minutes. He's not thinking of anything because you don't want to admit.
You're not even thinking. You just sitting.
I'm trying to think.
I mean, fair, mine was kind of lame, but
he's just wasting time.
he is wasting our time. You haven't talked at all. You're the most interesting person here, but you have nothing to contribute.
Well, you said I'm the most boring person.
I never said you were the most boring person.
I said the most demented person in the world.
I did say you were demented. That doesn't mean you're boring.
That
makes you more interesting.
Demented people are funny.
No, we got funny. It's interesting.
They're interesting to talk to. You know, you talk to a serial killer, they'll give you a laugh and a hope and a holler.
That's why I like defense work. You get to talk to weird people.
Yeah.
So, it was an interesting question.
It was interesting, but I just really can't think of anything right now.
I will say it was hard to come up with it on the spot, but you should think so.
My mom came up with it on the spot.
Because your mom's racist.
Hey now, it's HGTV House Hunters.
She turns it off. Okay.
You know, if you watch Oprah Winfrey Network, and they does show House Hunters, but they only show black people House Hunters.
Yeah, it's Oprah. That's what she does.
Why can't we have a network that shows only white people House Hunters?
Curious.
We need a WET.
Yeah, they have that. It's called the Hallmark Channel.
Oh yeah, and it sucks ass. I'd rather watch BET than fucking Hallmark. You're right, Hallmark, the black people that are Hallmark are just white people,
Yes.
like with black paint on their face.
That's what you want.
Yeah, if I married a black woman, that's what I'd want. Would you date a ghetto black woman?
What? I don't think she would date me. That's the problem. I don't really have much of a choice here to make. Some poor woman who's like really desperate will eventually like settle for me.
She's in her 30s and has 3 children and
I'll take what I can get.
Yeah. God.
A woman in her 30s with 3 children, child molestation charges.
God damn, what's wrong with this woman?
I'll take it.
This woman's fucked up. She's raping children. She has 3 kids.
I swear to God, when you go for like the arraignments or calendar calls or whatever, you'll they call roll or whatever, and people will stand up if they're present. Most of the time they're not. And you'll see this little sweet lady stand up or whatever, and she's like, "I'm here," and she like talks to the judge, whatever. And you look down at the charges. It's like child molestation, like 6 counts.
She like a school teacher. How old were the kids? Because that could be 16.
Dude, this is a calendar call. It's got 100 cases on there. Not going into details on every single one. You're just seeing what they're charged with on the calendar. So they're not taught. They're just the calendar call is just like, hey, you're here. You have a court date eventually.
A nice young lady who's very polite.
Some crazy ass shit.
She's
By
murdered.
the way,
she's dismembered somebody.
Okay, I'm gonna say this clearly and loudly. I need y'all to be quiet because I'm gonna put a name out there. Do you remember the name?
Yeah.
He's on the next calendar call.
Really?
Yeah.
For what?
Aggravated assault, which is a felony. So he's being represented by your cousin's partner, who I met actually in court last week. And I mean, I'm sure he probably just got into some sort of fight somewhere. But aggravated assault, that's a I don't know. Like they might talk to the DAs and they might get it down to like a simple battery or something. But I mean, like he's gonna get charged with something because you don't get a felony just dropped. Mm-hmm. It's gonna get reduced to something.
What would be?
What simple batteries might be what it gets reduced to. So that's a misdemeanor. So that's not gonna go on that's not gonna prevent him from getting employment or anything. It's just a misdemeanor. It's not a big deal. But I'm curious if he's gonna. I'm sure he'll show up next week.
I mean, that could be pretty broad, couldn't it? I mean, you could be like.
I don't have any of the facts. Of the
hitting
case.
a woman versus getting in a drunk bar fight.
I don't have any. Obviously, this is not our case. It's being handled. Obviously, it's not our case.
Is it illegal to talk about this?
No. This is open stuff. It's on calendar call. Like,
that was all in public?
Yeah, this is all public information. The only stuff I cannot talk about is our cases. Any details on our cases that are pending. Like, I can't tell you.
That's sort of the inside.
Like, we got some calls or whatever, like the F drive that I have access to, and I can't tell you all about that stuff. Anything pending that we have going on, I can't tell you about. Any conversations I have with clients, I can't tell you about. But like this trial that we had last week, I could have talked to you about it during the whole week. Because it was an open proceeding, anyone can walk in and sit in the gallery and watch. Just like the Amber Heard Johnny Depp thing, it's ongoing, but everyone can watch it. It's an open proceeding, which is what it's supposed to be. The public's supposed to have access to these things.
I'm trying to remember. Is
say it clearly so I can. It's hard when you say it quietly for me to go in.
I'm trying to remember who is who went.
All right, now we're back because the past 5 seconds were out. I just highlighted the whole thing and edited it out.
I'm trying to remember who that person was.
Oh, he went to school? I don't remember.
He went to school with us, I'm pretty sure. I mean, how else would we know who he is?
I believe he was 1 year below us.
Did he?
Oh, I thought he was ahead of us.
He was 1 year younger than us.
Did he come in during high school or something? I don't remember that. Yeah.
He's not a memorable person.
No, I mean, if I don't really remember him, he's not.
I did not remember what he looked like. I ended up going up and searching him up on Instagram, and I was like, yeah, that's what he looked like.
The thing is for me, like I remember like all of our year at least. That's all I remember.
Yeah. There were people that added like that came on after you left, and some people that were there that left.
PayPal. What did I pay for?
You have PayPal?
Yeah. What did I pay? HBO
what is
Max.
What is the utility of like a PayPal?
So companies don't have access to your like credit card information, I guess.
Yeah, PayPal is like sort of like a third party, like sort of like middleman, I guess. And like,
isn't that what my credit card was? Because it has fraud protection.
It is. It's basically PayPal. Just you can put your debit card in whatever, and you can get the funds back forcefully if you.
Yeah, you can get a refund.
They got repo men at PayPal.
Yeah, so you can report like, well, I didn't, or this is fake, or like I didn't,
Isn't that what
allow it.
My credit card does the same thing.
Yeah, the same thing.
So what's the point of having?
For people who don't have credit cards, I guess.
What about debit card?
It's also
debit card doesn't have any protection. It's why you have a credit card. So what's the point of PayPal?
It's also PayPal. You can also, if someone else has a PayPal, you can just transfer the funds to them.
Okay, so instead of having to use Venmo or Cash App or whatever, you have PayPal ready to go.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. I just had Venmo.
How do you spell this?
It's also, I mean, like, if you don't trust like some of these like third-party like websites.
Oh, his account's public.
You can just use your PayPal and like, well, I didn't get
Mine's
whatever,
public, but no
whatever
place.
I ordered.
This guy was ahead of us, I'm pretty sure.
No, he was behind us. I know for sure he was behind us.
Oh, now I'm going to older photos. You have to give us pause.
Don't like anything accidentally. Leave a comment like, hey, what are you gonna charge for?
Leave the comment most recent. What the fuck did you? It's like him with his mom and stuff. What the fuck did you do?
Who did you beat the shit out of?
When was this posted? May 8th. Damn. It's like him and nice little.
Yeah,
nice
this thing that he's getting charged with probably happened before this. Before that picture was uploaded, so he's just been living his life.
Here he is smoking a bunch of cigars with some dudes. Wow, cool. My dad used to be really into cigars. Those fucking nasty.
Cigars.
I'd rather him smoke cigarettes than cigars.
Well, what's wrong with cigars?
I just think they smell gross.
Oh, okay.
I'm so used to the smell of menthol cigarettes that it doesn't. It's like breathing in
There's
the air.
something I believe that's bad. Is I think cigarettes smell good, and yeah, I think cigarettes smell good.
That's not morally reprehensible.
It is
Honestly-
morally reprehensible to think they smell good.
There was a kid below us that posted. Go ahead. You know, I cut you off in the first episode. So.
He hasn't gotten to talk hardly at all. Go ahead, contribute.
No, I was gonna say like cigarettes, like, cause well, like, my dad used to smoke a lot, but like, I don't remember the smell. And I had a coworker who used to work at my place, and she like smoked all the time. And I always thought the cigarette smell, because you know I didn't know what it smelled like. I always thought it was her like perfume or whatever.
Did it smell good?
Well, it didn't smell good or anything. Well, it didn't smell good. I didn't really think about
So
it.
every podcast has one.
Whoa, now.
And this is
Thomas,
ours.
that was mean.
This is ours.
Fine. You want more of what you're talking about? You want to tell me the story how I ran over my work key? I
That
ran
is-
my work key. Look, you can see the scratches here.
Okay,
be a lot of-
I'm gonna let me examine this. Let me present this to the jury.
Is that a dolphin? What is that?
Yeah, you can kind of see some scratches and marks. Sure.
What kind of situation would you
So
be
you
in?
ran over it
How do you
ran
run it
my
over
work-
with
when
your
you're?
car.
Yeah.
How do you do that when the car key is attached?
This is not one. It's a push to start, right? No, this has got a thing. What the hell? Yeah, he's right. What are you doing?
How does that
No,
happen?
that's the thing. I'll tell you the story quick. So, what happened was that here, you have this. So what happened was that I usually put my work key, you know, because I have like.
Where are you putting these keys when you're done driving? That's not fitting into a pocket, man.
It does.
This pocket must be bulging.
I mean,
He ain't got much underneath
It
those
used to be a
pants.
lot. Used to be a lot bigger. But anyway, I put my work key usually with a keychain, you know,
Okay.
so that I can distinguish it. And it was actually like this keychain. It was a different thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is that like when I think I was up from lunch break and I came back to my car and then I saw that in my seat that the sort of keychains that were supposed to be with my work key was on my car seat without the key. And it's like, and I look at my keys like,
The key was missing.
where's my work key at?
Uh-huh.
I just realized that because like the keychains were on my chair the entire time, and it's like, and you know, mind you, I have like 8 minutes before I need to go back to work, so I couldn't really like look at the floor, look at my house.
This is during lunch?
Yeah, I was coming back from my lunch break, and I just noticed my car seat had these keychains, and I don't see the key.
Mhm.
So it's like, well, it's either in my car or somewhere on the ground at my house or at my workplace potentially.
There's a very wide,
Right.
sort of expansive places it could be.
And I had like no idea which it was, and it's like, well, I mean, I have to go back to work. I can't really think about it. And the entire time I was like going back to my workplace, I was thinking about like, how am I gonna explain to my boss I just lost my work key and I need another one.
Yeah.
It's like really awkward, right? Because I have no idea where it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you for showing a lot of interest in this.
No, I find this. I think it's interesting how nervous you were about it.
No, well, I mean, I just
You know what? I would
lost
tell
my
them
work
that I lost the key, brother. You gotta give me another one.
key. Yeah.
So
And
anyway, continue.
I was looking back, it's like, alright, well, you know, potentially it could have fell on the floor, you know, when I was like, you know, unlocking my car. So then I proceeded to look down on the ground and I see this really scratched golden key to the right spot where I park at, and it's like, yeah, that's probably it. And I picked it up. And then I tried it with the lock, it's like, oh yeah, that's
It
it.
still works, yeah.
Keys are very, they're made of a metal, so.
Well, it's also like, this key is like really distinguishable because it's a golden key. It's not like a silver key, so it's very
Is it gold?
distinguishable.
I have a silver key.
'Cause, like, this is one of the original keys.
How are we doing on time?
We're in the 3rd minute mark already. We're done.
Oh, we're done? I have.
We could go longer, since you don't have to go anywhere.
We could, no. Continue the key conversation now. I wanted to hear. See these bronze keys.
Right.
I have 2 keys. Both of these keys go to my mailbox.
Oh, I see.
I don't know why I have 2 keys.
Oh, your apartment mailbox.
Yeah. I don't know why they gave me 2 keys. I do not have a key that goes to my actual apartment.
In case you lose one.
This is a key that goes to my house.
You have a key card?
This is the key that enters my apartment.
I see.
Okay.
Which I don't like.
It looks like just a blank piece. What
It
is
is.
this? Let me see it.
This also gives me access to This also gives me access to the garage, to the elevator.
It doesn't-
to everything. This is way too much. I don't like that there's this one thing that does everything.
Right.
I'd much rather have a regular key.
It looks like just like a piece of paper that you stick into the slot.
Yeah, and I gotta every time I go in, if you don't scan to get inside or whatever, the security's like, "Can you show me your white card?" You have to pull this stupid thing out.
You can just pull out
The
anything.
security at the courthouse was also giving me a hard time because most of the time, they got
What's it called? The metal scanner?
Metal detector?
yeah, that thing. The attorneys just go through. They don't give their bag or anything. They just go through.
Yeah.
So every time I was going with my boss, we would just go through. But throughout the week, I was mostly going by myself because my boss had other stuff to do. And they were giving me a hard time, man. They were like, "Oh, you actually got to go back and give me your bag." And so I'd hand them the bag, and the guy grabs me and he's like, "What is heavy?"
Is it
It's
heavy?
heavy. It's like, no, man, you're just 75 and your bones are broken. Like, you can die soon. That's why it's not
Are
heavy.
they being racist or are they just being stupid?
I don't know. They wouldn't, like, I kept trying to explain to them, like, who I'm with. And I'm like, it's fine. Listen, if you want to scan my bag, that's fine. Sure, you don't know me, that's fine. Finally, after a couple times, they asked me, like, and I'm like, I work with the public defenders. Clearly, I speak clearly for them now. They're old. He was like, oh, okay, you can go through. I think he was just tired of having to hold my bag because it was getting heavier and heavier.
It's too heavy, huh?
You could have had a fucking AR-15 in your that bag.
It's not that big.
You could take some guns. You can take apart.
I had a banana in there
That is pretty
and
heavy.
a lot of papers and a laptop. It's not that heavy.
Hey man, some people get really mad about
I wanted to talk-
bananas out of the cafeteria.
I wanted to bring up a kid that was in like the grade or 2 below us that sent dick pics to all the girls in the class.
What?
Who the fuck was that?
I don't remember his name, but he got really made fun of.
I think I have some dick pics.
Yeah.
They're in my trash. I can pull them up.
Okay.
they're literally.
Wait, why do you have literal actual photos?
I have literal. I'm gonna pull something up and show it to you.
Okay.
Under the pretenses that it's a dick pic, so you'll get excited.
Are you gonna keep this in or are you gonna cut this part out?
I mean, we're already past time already. So.
Aren't we past time?
Yeah, we're...
You want to see Joe Biden bent over with a gas pump up his ass?
I got something about that.
Do you want? I'll send it to you. You want me to text it to you?
Yeah.
If we're over time, then
Why's there gotta be a time limit?
because he has to upload it, and it takes a long time
How long
to
it
upload.
takes? It takes like 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, it takes a long
Wow,
time.
2 or 3 hours.
You
It's
want
not
to
very.
at your place?
So if you
No,
got
it'd take 10 days.
if you got anything else you got to say, anything you need to get off your chest, you do it now or forever hold your peace.
I am deeply, deeply, deeply